Hi guys, now I finished my homework. Yes, the Day of the Dead, part 2. Now let's start. The, the family cleaned the grave and added fresh flowers in graves. I walked through the cemetery and admired a beauty of all colorful flowers. Yes. Oh, good. Where did AJ walk? They walked through cemetery. They walked through cemetery. Did I walk through the park? No, I didn't. I didn't walk through the park. I walked through the cemetery. Cemetery. Who walked through the cemetery? AJ. Yes, AJ walked through cemetery. The cemeteries. That's right. Did AJ walk through cemeteries or did AJ walk through the park? AJ walked through the cemetery. That's right. And he admired the beauty of all colorful flowers. Did AJ admire the beauty of the trees? No. He didn't admire the beauty of the trees. Did AJ admire the beauty of children? No, he didn't. He didn't admire the beauty of children. What did he admire? The flowers, right? He admired flowers, all colorful flowers. Who admired the beauty of all colorful flowers? That's right, AJ. AJ admired colorful flowers. Where were the flowers? On graves in the cemetery. The flower was on graves in cemeteries. Were flowers in the park? No, they wasn't. They wasn't in the park. Was a flower in his house? No, they wasn't in his house. They was on graves. Yes. Where were the flowers? They were in cemetery. Yes, cemetery. Where did AJ walk? He walked through cemetery. When did he walk through cemetery? Oh, November 1st, the Day of the Dead. November 1st, the Day of the Dead. He walked through cemetery. What were the cemetery like? Oh, like a party. It was like a party. The cemetery was like a party. Was he serious about this holiday? Yes, he was curious about this holiday. Which holiday was he curious about? Oh, the Day of the Dead. He was curious about the Day of the Dead. So he walked through. There was also color in sky because many kids was flying kites. Why were the color in sky? Because kids were flying kites. The kites. Now, where were the color in sky? Yes, that's right, in the sky. Who were flying kites? Kids were flying kites. Were the sky colorful or were the sky gray? Oh, the sky colorful. Yes, colorful. What was colorful? The sky. Yes, the sky was colorful. Why was the sky colorful? Because kids were flying kites. Yes, because kids were flying kites. What were the kids flying? Kites. Yes, that's why kites. The kids were flying kites. Where were the flying kites? In the cemetery. Yes, the kids were flying kites in cemetery. Who was flying kites? Flying kite cemeteries? Kids were flying kites in cemetery. Some families were having picnic next to graves. We in the United States don't do it. Don't do this. So some families were having picnic next to graves. They ate, drank, and they chatted together. Did they eat? Did they eat? Yes, they are. They are. Wait. The families, yes, family ate next to graves. What did they eat? What did they eat? They ate watermelon food. Watermelon food. They ate. The family ate watermelon food. Did they eat American food? No, they didn't. They didn't eat watermelon. They didn't eat American food. They ate watermelon food. They also drank in the cemetery. Did they drink water in the cemetery? No, they didn't. They didn't drink the water in the cemetery. They drank the beer. Yes, the beer. Who drank beer? The family drank beer. What did they eat? What did they eat? Watermelon food. Watermelon food. They ate watermelon food next to graves. When did they drink beer? When did they drink beer? November 1st. Day of the Dead, November 1st. They chatted together. Who chatted together? Who chatted together? The families, of course. The families chatted together. When they did chatted together? When they chatted together? Yes, November 1st. Day of the Dead, November 1st. And people laughed and smiled in United States. Cemeteries are always somber. Are cemeteries happy in United States? No, never. Cemetery in United States always somber, serious, and not fun. Are cemeteries serious in United States? Yes, of course, they are. The United States cemeteries are always somber. They are always serious. Are cemeteries somber or are cemetery in happy in United States? Somber, of course. Somber in United States. Cemetery are always somber. Are cemeteries always somber in Guatemala or American? Yes, United States cemeteries are always somber. Where are cemeteries always somber? The United States, that's right. In United States, cemeteries are always somber. Are they happy? No, no, they are always somber. Cemetery in United States are always somber, very, very somber. We certainly never have festival or party next to graves. Do we have a party next to graves? No, no, we never party next to graves. Do we ever have a party next to graves? No, we never having party next to graves. Do we ever have party next to graves? Yes. Do we ever? No. No, never. Yes, never. We never have party next to graves. Not never, not ever, never. We don't laugh and play music or fly kites in cemetery either. Do we laugh in cemeteries usually? No, we don't. We don't laugh in cemetery. We don't laugh. Where don't we laugh? In cemetery, yes, in cemetery in United States. That's right. I found that I preferred watermelon approach. Did I found that I preferred the American approach, or did I find that I preferred watermelon approach? The watermelon approach, yes, the watermelon approach. I found that I preferred watermelon approach. Did I find that I prefer the American approach? No, not American. I found that I preferred watermelon approach. Which approach did I prefer? Yes, I preferred the watermelon approach. Did I prefer the American approach? No. Who preferred the watermelon approach? Yes, AJ. AJ preferred the watermelon approach. AJ found and AJ preferred watermelon approach. AJ liked the way they remembered and celebrated those who had passed away. Did celebrate those who has passed away? Did they celebrate those who was alive? No, no, they didn't. They didn't celebrate those who was like. They celebrate who has passed away. Did they celebrate those who had passed away or those has become rich? They celebrate those who has passed away. Yes. Who celebrate those who has passed away? Watermelons, right? Watermelons celebrate those who has passed away. When did they celebrate those who has passed away? On the day of the dead, November 1st. On the day of the dead, November 1st, they celebrated those who had passed away. Who celebrate the watermelons? Watermelon families celebrated. Who did they celebrate? They celebrated those who had passed away. I like that they acknowledge death instead of denying it the way Americans do. Who like that acknowledge death? AJ liked that they acknowledge death. They liked that they acknowledge death. Did they acknowledge money or did they acknowledge death? They acknowledge death. What did they acknowledge? Death, of course, death. They acknowledge death. Who acknowledge death? Acknowledge death. Watermelons, right? Watermelon acknowledge death. Did they acknowledge death or did they acknowledge money? They acknowledge death. Who denies death? Who denies death? Americans. Yes, Americans deny death. Do watermelons deny death? No, not watermelon. Watermelon don't deny death. Americans deny death. Do he like that Americans deny death? No, he doesn't. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like that Americans deny death. But he likes that life and express death in watermelon cemeteries. He likes that. Did he like watermelons? Yes, he liked the watermelon. So sorry.